Coher Sr., the biological father to Marwa, has finally come out and responded to Marwa. He says he was denied access to Marwa by Marwa's mother.
I am only showing you that you have a father who sired you. Your brothers and sisters are here. No chance to access you. Your mom blocked me from accessing you. But I'm sorry for the hard life you went through. I am not talking about you because you have succeeded.
On the other hand, in Marwa's yesterday's live stream, Marwa spoke about his lived experience where he says the only person who is supposed to show him the father is the mother.
Woe unto you. And again, for example, if somebody claims to be your dad, they should meet your mom and let your mom bring them to you. And if somebody claims to be your dad, they should have been there at least once. At least you should have seen somebody even passing by your compound and say, you know, I'm your dad. But do you grow as a man knowing somebody is your dad? When I was poor, where were you, Mzee?
Both of them are talking about a silent center. A center that is the center of Congress' mom. And so far, she has not spoken anything. Let me make a deep analysis. I want to begin this analysis by starting where the story most recently turned with the response from Coher Sr. Coher Sr. says he has seen a video where Marwa speaks about his father. His response is not angry, it is not abusive, it is emotional, apologetic, and layered. He begins by saying he's very sorry. Sorry for not raising Marwa. Sorry for the hard life Marwa went through. Sorry for sorry for herding goats and sheep. Sorry for the mistreat and struggle. That apology matters a lot because it is an admission of absence.
I've seen Marwa denying me. Yes. In YouTube. No, you are very correct, Marwa. You are very correct. You have spoken very well because I did not raise you, my son. I'm very sorry, by the way. I'm very sorry for the hard life you went through. Herding goats and sheep, getting mistreatments and so what. In fact, you are very correct, Marwa. And may I say that, in fact, I'm not ready to exchange with you. I can't.
At the same time, Coher Sr. makes it clear that he is not ready to exchange words online. He is not going to start talking ill about the son. He does not want a public back and forth. Instead, he repeatedly directs Marwa to one place. Ask your mother. That tells us something very strong. Let me say this. Coher Sr. says the marriage between him and Marwa's mother was not secret. He says people knew, elders knew, community knew, and he even says that some of the authoritative people in society, the chief, and even went ahead and mentioned an MCA. He claimed that the mother ran away.
Try to inquire because my marriage and your mother was not a secret. It wasn't a secret. Everybody knows. Every community knows everything. Ask anybody Ask anybody. Ask anybody. Like Muita the chief, like your uncle, the former MCA. That is your, yeah, not your uncle, but your grandfather. Yeah. Muita Nyangi. Ask anybody, my son.
With Marwa, and later married Mr. Ondari. He emphasizes that at the time this happened, Marwa was already walking, not a baby. This detail is important to him because it supports his belief that Marwa might remember, or at least that the separation was not hidden. He insists that if Marwa doubts this claim, let your mother show you who really your father is. That sentence shifts responsibility away from himself and places it firmly on the mother. The way we can see, everybody is now talking about Marwa's mother, that is Congrats' mom. And this is the emotional identification. Coher Senior then says something deeply actually inhuman. He says that when he watches Marwa, the way Marwa talks, the way he walks, the way he mannerizes himself, his confidence, he sees himself.
Because when your mom went away with you, you were walking, you were a big boy. Look at your behavior, look at your characteristics, look the way you talk, look the way you walk. Look, let anybody tell you if you resemble me.
This is not proof. This is emotional recognition. He also says it very clearly. I'm not after his money.
For me to come out and say you are my son does not mean that I am looking for money. Does not mean that I'm looking for your help. But I am only showing you that you have a father who sired you. Your brothers and sisters are here.
That statement exists because public suspicion exists. Because a lot of people, even in my comment section, a lot of people were saying that where was he when Marwa was not successful? Now because he has seen Marwa is successful, now he wants to claim that he's the father to Marwa. By saying it, he's responding not only to Marwa, but to the audience. Let me say this about the blocked access claim. Coher Senior says that he was blocked from accessing Marwa. He says that the mother prevented contact. He expresses regrets that Marwa was too young to understand what was happening. This introduces a critical reality. In family conflict, one person can feel abandoned while the other feels excluded. Both experiences can coexist. And we have to accept that. Even there is a lot of questions people are asking in the comment section, especially on my side, because we know that we have the cult members, I have the organic subscribers. So all of them were asking a good question. Let me just ask back a question. I was married initially. I separated with my wife. Then my wife got married elsewhere. Should I go to that family then claim that I want to take the responsibility of my son? For those who know, for those who are coming from, let me just take it like let me just speak like a Korean community now. Let me not speak it as international level. That is not possible. If you really like your life, if you really you love yourself, don't dare to do that, because you had a chance, the chance is gone. Now somebody else is taking care of that chance. Then you want to go there, then start taking yourself so that you want to look like a sentinel that you're supposed to maybe take responsibility. To me, that does not happen, and I will be elaborating why. Let me talk about the shift to generation, where Coher Senior then makes a turn that is not about the past, but about the future. He speaks about Maisha, Marwa's son. He speaks about Rocio, who is Marwa's wife, for those maybe they don't know. He wants Marwa not to allow Rocio to live with the child. According to Coher Senior, he says it very clear that he loves both Maisha and Rocio. He says, if a child grows away from the father, that child may later deny the father, just as Marwa is now denying him.
Make sure, this is my polite advice, never give Rocio a chance to go away with your son, because at Maisha's age, if he stays away from you, he will still deny you the way you are denying me, because he is not near you. I love Rocio, I love Maisha. Make sure you are close to that. Let this history not repeat.
This is not accusation, it is fear. Fear that history may repeat itself. Coher Senior says that he loves Rocio, he loves Maisha, and he does not want the same separation cycle to continue. Then he points on about a pattern. Coher Senior draws a generation line. He claims Ondari took Esther from him. Esther left him. Actually, Esther left with Ondari, and now similar patterns appear again.
Because you are now a grown-up, let us show you your father. Because even if you look at yourself and the other siblings, you are quite different. The behavior can be changed by whoever is close to you. Huh? You are raised by Ondari, yes, but look at the behaviors. You look different. Let me give you examples now. I don't know whether you are convinced that Ondari had another wife who is at Nyamaya. Are you convinced? He abandoned that wife. Look at David Jr.'s behavior. He is also always taking people's wives the way Ondari took your mom from me. Huh? Look, Halima, where is Halima? Burimi's wife. Where is it in Chagor, who? Matiko's wife. Don't you see what is happening?
That is interpretation, not fear. Pattern can help explain fear or pain, but they do not assign guilt. When I'm talking about these, I've seen a lot of people asking me that, did Lady J marry those the ladies that I'm claiming that he took them from their husband? I only say that he took them from their husband. There is nowhere I've said he married them. So taking them from the husband, let me ask a very simple question. Has he, because when you are there as a mediator, just do your mediation. If this something is wrong, make sure that you just fix everything. Lady J was supposed to be as the mediator, not a separation mechanism where you are taking somebody's wife, renting for them houses, making sure that they are staying there, and the only thing you go to do, you go and check them there, taking responsibility by yourself without telling even the husband. That is not transparency. When you say that, I can even say he has married them, because why do you deny access of the husbands to these ladies, the likes of Morimi, the likes of Matiko, Matiko? Why do you deny them access to their wives and their children? That raises a question about how the pattern is. Let me leave that aside, the land and birthright. Coher Senior then speaks about a traditional claim. He says he wants Marwa to inherit, at least, even if Marwa is not willing to inherit, let him inherit even at least 1 inch of the land.
Because according to me, you are my first son. I wanted you to have your birthright. I wanted you to inherit your grandfather's property, even if it is 1 inch of a land.
And that is a connection to his grandfather, a cultural birthright. In Korean culture, this is not about wealth. It is about identity. For those who understand what Coher Senior is meaning, because if it is true that Marwa is the son to Coher Senior, that is about identity. Now let me talk about Marwa's side in the context. To understand this fully, we must return back to Marwa's live stream. I talked about it, but I want to integrate all of it so that we make a sense analysis. Marwa does not speak from theory. Marwa speaks from experience. When Marwa says, "The only father I know is the one who raised me," he is not attacking biology. He is describing the presence. Marwa grew up struggling. He herded animals. He traveled alone. He faced hardship early. Another man was there daily, even though Marwa claims that the father actually, it was like the father used to, let me just use like the word like torturing, yeah? The father used to let me just use polite language, yeah? The father used to mistreat him. So from a psychological point of view, Marwa's position is natural. Children attach to the person who shows up. You cannot replace the bond later with explanation. Let me talk about where the two stories collide. This conflict is not really about truth. It is about timing. Coher Senior speaks from regret that arrived late. Marwa speaks from pain that started early. Coher Senior wants recognition. Marwa wants accountability. Both are human needs, but they do not meet easily. Let me say this. Let me talk about now the silent center, who is the mother to Marwa. There is one truth that cannot be ignored. Both men point to the same person, the mother, Madam Esther. Congrats, mom. Call mom, man. The way I'm using those old words that people call her. Without her voice, privately, the story remains incomplete. If Congress mom won't be speaking about this issue, this story is not going to be completed. No interview can replace that conversation. No YouTube video can settle it. Even when we speak, I'm not that I'm speaking as a mediator. I'm not that speaking that I want to bring them together, but the only person who is supposed to clear this air is Congrats Mom. But when we tried looking at it again, Congrats Mom moved on with another man. So this tells us it is very hard for her to speak about it because it will bring something that we call, maybe let me just use maybe separation, because Mr. Ondari won't feel good about it, and there is a possibility that Congrats Mom might be hiding some truth. So as to make sure that the relationship and the marriage that he's in right now still stands still. Let me say this about my analysis. When everything is placed together, this is what emerges. This is not a story of good versus bad. It is a story of absence, silence, cultural expectations, and consequences that lasted generations. Marwa is right emotionally. Coher Senior might be right biologically, but emotional fatherhood and biological fatherhood are not the same thing. Presence shapes identity more than DNA. For those who claim maybe, okay, let me not talk about even the DNA thing. Let me just leave it that presence shapes identity more than the DNA. What should be done? Let me say about it. In my view, this is what must happen. This conversation should stop online. It should move into a private space. The mother must be present. Trust must be established calmly. No forced reconciliation. Marwa's emotional boundaries must be respected, and Maisha must be protected from the repeating this cycle. Reconciliation is not compulsory. Clarity is compulsory. The saddest part of this story is not denial. It is delay. When adults delay truth, children grow up carrying confusion. And the most important lesson here is simple. A child should never grow up to become the judge of adult discussions or decisions. Let this story end with dignity, not damage. Goodbye.